Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Bear River Blogger, and it's been a while since I've actually done a video update, especially on the Bear River Bird Refuge. And the reason that is it's still technically not allowed to do videos on public land and upload them to platforms like YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and anywhere where it gets monetized for any reason. So I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos other than just the short little nature clips that I get here and there. But I think I'm going to start doing more video updates however I can, but I'm not going to be able to do them traditional video. So what I'm going to do is, like I'm doing today, is I'm going to do kind of, let's call it a video podcast, where I am going to do the podcast part, which is audio, and then add some photos and maybe some video off the refuge and stuff where I can use those, kind of show you and talk to you guys about what's going on. As you can see, I'm actually on the bird refuge, but I'm standing on 4th Street, which this is a county road, so I can actually video here. But I actually can't go out on the refuge right now until Congress passes some kind of law that allows videos to be recorded on public land and put on platforms like YouTube. So, but it's a long story. Not going to get into it, but for now, what I'm going to do is start doing these video updates when I come out to the bird refuge, because it's easier to do these video updates than it is to write a blog post about a quick little birding trip out here, which is why I haven't been doing those, because they're just so hard to do just for a short little update. So it's easier to do a quick video, let's call it a video podcast, and just throw some pictures in there and just show you guys what's going on. And for those of you who are listening to this on my podcast channel, I'll try to be as descriptive as I can. But if you're on the YouTube channel, where I'm going to do this as a kind of a video cast, I guess you'd call it, you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about with the pictures. So we're going to try this, see if it works. Mention down in the comments below if you like this, if this works, any suggestions. I wish I could actually go out on the refuge and the Bear River Bird Refuge and do straight video, but for now I can't, and I'm not going to really jeopardize myself by going out there and trying it until things change. So but I'm going to do my best to actually do some kind of video updates, audio updates, whatever you want to call them, to let you guys know what's going on out at the bird refuge. And I actually just went around the bird refuge today. We're actually in the first week of January, and as you can see, it's snowing, and it's extremely, well, it's not super cold, but it is very cold out here. And next week it's supposed to get even colder. We're supposed to have some Arctic air come down. But this has been a very strange year for birds out on the bird refuge. There are still a ton of swans out here. Unfortunately, they're all out on Unit 1, which is where we're looking now, which is to the north, out in the clouds and snow. There's a lot of swans out there, and I can hear them. I don't think you can hear them with just the microphone in my ear here, but there are a lot of swans out there. I did see a flock of swans on the Migratory route itself, but it's still hunting season, so a lot of the swans are off in the closed areas where you really can't see them. And that'll change after hunting season closes down I think it's within the next week or two, early January. And then the birds kind of settle down, especially when things are completely frozen. The refuge is still partially open, partially frozen, so there's still a lot of activity out in the marsh. But when that settles down, the swans will actually kind of move around the refuge a lot more, and you'll be able to see them a lot easier. But this is weird because we never really have this many swans this late in the year. Usually they're gone by now, at least most of them. Every year it seems like there's maybe a couple hundred that stay all winter long, but there's probably thousands out there from what I can hear. And I've seen swans out here almost every day come out around the refuge and check. So we've had a lot of swans hang pretty late in the year, especially first part of January, because usually mid-February they start coming back. So they may not leave this year unless we get a super hard freeze and all the water freezes, which they have to use the feed in. So we'll see what happens. But it's been strange for the swans, and it's been strange for another reason. There's been some white-faced ibis that's been hanging out on the bird refuge. A couple days ago I saw 15 of them. I just saw a couple today. Every time I've been coming out here, I've been seeing white-faced ibis on the Migratory route, which is very strange because they're out of here in September, early October. They're down south somewhere in Mexico, maybe along, I'm not sure if they're along the coast of the United States, but they're in warmer climates. So it's really weird to see white-faced ibis standing on the ice, poking in the ice and in the little pockets of open water. But there's quite a few white-faced ibis. I see them every single time I go around the auto tour route. They're still here. So it's weird to see them this late in the year. And it's just, this weather's just been so crazy. But there's white-faced ibis out here on the auto tour route. And the day after Christmas, when I was out here, I actually saw 50 American avocets fly over my head on the auto tour route. So this weather has been kind of up and down. It's been a kind of a crazy year, but there's been a lot of birds that don't normally hang around this time of year, hang around on the bird refuge here in northern Utah, which gives for some pretty interesting bird watching opportunities if you're able to catch and find them. The avocets, I only saw them the one time, but there was at least 50 of them that flew over my head. I've been able to catch the white-faced ibis every time I've come out of the auto tour route, so they're pretty easy to find. But it's been kind of interesting that there's been these kind of oddities for the bird watching community out here on the bird refuge, the Bear River Migratory Bird Refuge. So I've seen a lot of bald eagles. People ask me about, are the bald eagles in? They are, but the refuge isn't completely frozen, so they're not easily seen because they'll come out and sit on the ice and hang out there. So since the refuge isn't completely frozen, the eagles aren't anywhere they're easily seen, but I see a lot of them in Box Elder County flying back and forth. So the eagles are here, but the weather conditions haven't quite gotten to where you can see them on the auto tour route yet. It just has to freeze completely solid. And then the birds will actually come out and sit out on the ice. So, but that's kind of what's going on in the bird refuge. It's kind of, some days it's kind of slow out here, being middle of winter. It's what to be expected. It's not as cold as it usually is this time of year. Like I said, most of the refuge is usually frozen. I'd say probably only 80% of it's frozen right now. So there's still a lot of open water for the first week of January, but there's still a lot of neat things to see out there, especially these white-faced ibis with the snow and the ice. It's just weird to see. So anyway, that's kind of the update of what's going on. If you got any questions about what's going on in the bird refuge, you can leave them down in the comments below, or you could actually go to my website, bearriverblogger.com, and you can email me through there, and I'll try to respond and answer whatever questions I can about the refuge. And you can actually, I started a Facebook page, Bear River Blogger Facebook page, and actually an Instagram page for Bear River Blogger. So if you guys are using any of those, Facebook or Instagram, you can follow me there, and I'll do some little updates and stuff on those platforms as well. But I'm going to try and do more YouTube video updates, try to get that going, because that seems to be the easiest way to do these bird watching updates. And I'm going to try and actually get back to doing a lot more blogs. I'm just not going to do the daily updates on the blogs because it's just not, it's not easy to do those with just little tidbits here and there. But feel free to subscribe to my blog, bearriverblogger.com, and I'll keep posting there when I get interesting stories to put out there. And then follow this channel. I'll see if I can get this thing going to where I can actually do better video updates about what's going on here in northern Utah, about bird watching and even what other nature things that come of interest throughout the year. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Hopefully you guys are staying warm, and we will catch you on the next video update.